and welcome. On today's video, we are going to be discussing the 10 foods that help clear and diminish my PCOS symptoms. Hey, and welcome back to Stronger Than PCOS. On this channel, we overcome PCOS one positive thought at a time. We share motivation videos, tip videos, and what worked for me to help me heal my PCOS. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you are new here, I'd love to have you join the family. Just click that subscribe button. Let's get right into this video. So today's video, like I mentioned before, is about the daily foods I include each day that have really transformed my body and really made sure that my body is balanced and help diminish my PCOS symptoms. These are not in any particular order. Some are foods that are kind of more like seasonings and herbs and stuff, but they're all just as vitally important, and I try to go just about every single day consuming these foods right here. So if you're at a point where you're kind of wanting to change your diet but not really sure where to start, or stuff is overwhelming, I just advise starting with including these foods in your everyday life instead of focusing on what to take out. Just be sure to add these foods in, and I promise you, you will see amazing results. Alright, and first up on this list is kale. I know you've heard it time and time again. Kale has become very popular, and rightfully so. Kale is a nutrient-dense food. It has lots of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants to help your body function each day, to help with natural detoxification. Specifically with me, I notice a big difference in my skin health and my overall energy levels when I consume kale. My favorite way to consume it is in a juice because I feel like I can get a lot excuse me, a little tickle in my throat, a lot in one juice, and I feel like I get all of the benefits from it right then. Instead of stressing and putting it in salad or whatever, a juice is just a very convenient way for me to eat that much kale because I'm not a huge kale lover with just plain raw kale. I typically do a juice of 5 stalks of kale, about 3 to 4 small oranges, and possibly an apple, depending on if I'm sharing that juice with my son. So if you are newer to eating greens, I would suggest adding that apple in there. It's just going to create a sweetness and make it more palatable for you to consume. But definitely highly recommend adding kale to your diet every single day. I promise you will start to know a difference. Now at this point, if I don't consume it and I have, say, like a pimple pop up, if I can start consuming it on a daily basis, I will notice my skin immediately change within a few days. That's how powerful this stuff is for my body. So give it a try, kale. Next is spirulina. Again, this is a nutrient-dense food. This is a superfood from the earth. It is an algae that grows in the sea, and you can get it in powder form. Spirulina is a pure protein. It has all the amino acids to complete protein, not pure protein. And it's also great with detoxification. Super high in minerals and vitamins, and it just adds to your overall detoxification of your body and helps with your organ function. And again, I just noticed a big difference with my energy levels when I consume spirulina. I like to add it to my smoothies. If you're new to spirulina, I'd say add 1 teaspoon or less, and then start by slowly adding more. I specifically ingest Hawaiian spirulina, and there was a reason for it. I think a doctor I followed recommended it. I don't know if he was on YouTube or I found him on the internet, but I'm sure any spirulina is just as healthy for you. Wow, the lighting's getting a little weird in here, isn't it? Really bright, kind of shady. Excuse me. Next is barley grass. This kind of ties into spirulina. I consume these both at the same time, but barley grass is a bit sweeter and less harsh of a green taste than spirulina or kale. It comes in powder form, and I do like to add it to my smoothies. I add typically a tablespoon. Again, if you're not used to greens, start out with a teaspoon and work your way up, see how you like it. But I found that out of all the green powders and all the greens to add to your diet, besides spinach, that barley grass is the most amazing way to get in your greens because I feel like it truly tastes delicious. And there's not many greens out there I can say that for. I used to do wheatgrass and it was just disgusting, to be honest. It was disgusting. So I kind of substituted it with spirulina and barley grass juice powder. Both of these are always in my morning smoothie. And again, I've just noticed an overall difference in my skin and my energy levels and just my overall like vitality levels. Like I feel more positive and energized when I start my mornings with a smoothie with these two in there. Okay, next food is ginger. I have been consuming this for a while now actually because ginger is helps with digestion, and I've had digestion issues since I was a kid. Luckily they're at bay the past year or so. But ginger is an amazing anti-inflammatory. It also, like I said, is great for digestion and soothing your intestinal muscles and just letting them relax if you're having any digestive issues. But I mainly take it, one is for the digestion, and two, it does help with your skin because it is anti-inflammatory. It helps with any pain you have, as far as if you have, you know, joint pain, back pain, neck pain, whatever, headaches. It helps thin your blood, so if you are on a medication that's a blood thinner, you probably don't want to take ginger. Or if you're going in for surgery, I think they say not to have it because it is a blood thinner. But it is a super powerful anti-inflammatory food, so it is amazing for PCOS health because it helps fight that inflammation. And it just is an antifungal, antibacterial. It's just going to help your immune system be stronger. I found it helps me overcome any sickness I'm going through, or it also helps heat up your body. So if you're the type of person to be cold, it helps a lot with circulation. So I highly recommend, especially if you're going through PCOS, that you include ginger into your diet. I used to juice it, but I actually enjoy it more now in a tea. I just cut up some ginger, put it in a boiling pot of water, let it steep for about 5 minutes, and then take it off and enjoy it that way. And you can reuse the ginger pieces you used for like a day or so. But I love to enjoy that right before bed because I just find it so soothing and relaxing. It tastes good. It does have a kick to it. If you've never had ginger, ginger is a spice. It has like a spiciness to it, not like a jalapeno spice, kind of like, I can't explain it, almost like an alcohol spice. Because I do ginger shots instead of any alcohol, and it has like a burn, but a good burn. So definitely give ginger a try and see, especially if you're going through something as far as like chronic pain or anything with your digestion. And like I said, it's just a bonus that it's awesome for PCOS as well. Next one is cinnamon. Cinnamon is amazing to help with regulating blood sugar because it's high in chromium picolinate, I think so. I used to consume that years ago when I first started my PCOS journey to help with blood sugar levels because I did suffer from hypoglycemia for most of my PCOS years. But anyways, cinnamon is amazing at regulating blood sugar. It's also just so delicious. It's so warming. It boosts your immune system. It helps to fight infections or any sickness that you may have caught or prevent you from catching them as well. With cinnamon, my main thing is I just feel like my blood sugar is way more stabilized when I include it, especially in my breakfast. I tend to not put it in my smoothies anymore. I used to do a smoothie that was a banana date cinnamon smoothie. Banana date, flax, cinnamon smoothie. And I would put about a tablespoon minimum in that smoothie. And I just loved that. I drank that so many mornings. I can make a video on that smoothie specifically because I was taking that in the midst of my PCOS journey when I was healing my PCOS. And I had that every morning. And that's, you know, when my cycle came back. If you haven't watched my other videos, there's a lot of factors that have played into healing my PCOS. But food is a big contributor. So cinnamon definitely included, help with that blood sugar, those blood sugar levels. Next is avocados. I absolutely love avocados. Avocados I just love them on. I can make some avocado toast. I can put them in smoothies. I can just eat them by themselves, and that is mainly how I eat avocado, is just spooning it out. But I will add it to dishes because it just adds a perfect creaminess. A lot of times I'll use it in salads as a salad dressing. I'll just mash up avocado, add some lemon juice, some garlic powder, and a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. Mash it all together and it makes an amazing salad dressing. But I kind of went over this avocados and cinnamon, I think, in my fertility foods video, which I will link below if you are just looking to balance your hormones and maybe you're looking to conceive. But even if you're not looking to conceive, those foods in that video are amazing at helping heal PCOS as well. But I kind of go over the highlights of avocado in that video, and it's rich in fiber, it's rich in folate, it helps with blood sugar regulation as well as, and I think also helps with weight loss, and it is obviously a healthy fat, so you're getting your good healthy fats in for that skin health. I found that avocados really help with keeping my skin moisturized naturally and keeping it plump and kind of like a healthy rose color. Not a red color, but like a rosy, dewy, I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's what I found specifically with avocados, is how much it affects my skin. Avocados are not only delicious, but they're amazing for your body, especially when you're combating PCOS. Next food is almonds. And almonds have just been kind of my saving grace as far as keeping me satiated, especially while breastfeeding my son and eating plant-based. Almonds, I have found, have been a very satiating snack. I add them to smoothie bowls, which has been a favorite of mine lately. In the morning, making a smoothie, putting it in a bowl, and adding toppings to it. One of those toppings being sliced almonds. They're so delicious, high in vitamin E, high in healthy fats. Next food is celery. Celery, I never was really a big fan. I always thought celery was just basically water. And then once I started my health journey, I started to realize that celery is way more than just lots of water and fiber. It has nutrients in it like minerals, vitamins. It is high in these certain salts, which I don't know if you all follow Medical Medium, but he talks about it, and he's actually the movement of the celery juice, which is where I tend to get most of my celery intake from, is celery juice in the morning on an empty stomach before my other juice. I know, I'm a juicing freak. And it's high in calcium too. So the biggest difference I noticed with celery is my digestion. I can eat and have not have it just sit in my stomach. I used to eat meals and then kind of just constantly be burping and just feel like it never left my stomach. And when I started introducing celery juice to my diet, I noticed my skin tone got a bit more even, and that after eating meals, I felt like the food wasn't just sitting in my stomach, if that makes sense. So that is why I am sure to include celery every day. Also, it just makes a good snack too if you add some almond butter or cashew butter or peanut butter in the center. Add whatever you want to it, chia seeds, or just eat it like that. It's just a really nice crunchy snack, and I enjoy it a lot. So include celery. Next food is papaya. Next is blueberries. Specifically wild blueberries, but if you can't get your hands on wild blueberries, regular blueberries work too. But blueberries are great for your brain health and cognitive health. And when I've introduced blueberries into my diet, obviously I've had all these foods my whole life, just not on a regular basis. And I didn't have them as much as I do now, just to put that out there. It's not like I just tried blueberries for the first time. But now that I consume them on a daily basis, I notice a huge difference in my thinking and just overall awareness of what I'm saying and what I'm thinking. I know that sounds very odd, but it's true. Blueberries are amazing. And in fact, I think the guy's name is Jim Quick, and he is not a brain specialist, but he has a company that gives you tips on how to learn quicker, how to remember more things, and he always recommends blueberries for your brain health and awakening the brain and brain power and brain fuel. And ever since introducing them, I do feel more awake, even with me still getting up at night a few times a night with my son and waking up early. So Definitely recommend blueberries. And here are our honorable mentions, which aren't specific foods, but they're recipes? I don't know. You'll just see. First one being smoothies. Smoothies have been my saving grace as far as getting as much nutrient-dense foods in my diet as possible, as far as being a fast, convenient breakfast for if I'm needing to get out of the house quick in the morning and I have my son. Well, I always have my son, but it's just been a very convenient tool for me to go back and use as far as getting those healthy foods in and enjoying them while I'm eating them. So definitely recommend smoothies. You can make them into smoothie bowls. That's been my jam lately. I think I already mentioned that at the beginning of this video, but just topping them with whatever. I'll be making a video on that in the next couple of weeks of just like what I've really been eating lately and what I've really been thriving on. Next honorable mention is juices. Yes, you probably like, surprise, surprise, green juices, really just juices in general. But again, it helps me get those really nutrient-dense foods in my diet in such an easy, simple way, in a way I can enjoy. Now, I'll make a separate video on juicing and smoothieing, but just to give you a little tidbit, juicing is just way easier on your digestive system. It has to do way less work for those nutrients to get into your bloodstream. I'm just gonna keep it at that. But that is why every morning, celery juice, my green juice, and then typically a smoothie. Every now and then, you know, certain mornings, it might not be that way, but I'd say 85% of the time, that is what happens. And last but not least are Buddha bowls. Buddha bowls are just basically a mixture of fruits, vegetables, grains, all in a bowl with a delicious sauce on top. And these have saved me as far, again, as convenience, making sure I'm eating healthy, getting all the nutrient-dense foods in. All you have to do is pick a base and pick your toppings. So a lot of the times I'll do brown rice or I'll do quinoa, and then I'll add broccoli, asparagus, sweet potato, maybe some beans in there, and then I just make a sauce, whatever, depending on what I'm craving, and I just put it on top and then you just mix it up, and it's so delicious, it's so satisfying, and again, it's just a simple way to eat healthy and have it taste good and be convenient. And I think those are the two major factors in people not eating healthy, is the inconvenience of it and not thinking it tastes good. So the Buddha bowls and the juices and the green smoothies just wrap those all up. They solve all those issues and make. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Let me know what you'd like to see next week. Would you like to see my hair care routine as far as rejuvenating my hair after I was having hair loss? Would you like to see a recipe video? Or would you like to hear my PCOS story retold and possibly more into my blood results before and after I healed my PCOS? Let me know in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.